ladies and gentlemen, over the past few months, I've purchased quite a few fragrances. Some new releases, some older releases, but they're all new in my collection. I'm going to speak about 8 that I cannot stop sniffing. Like every day, I walk past them, I have to pick them up, smell the atomizer like a weirdo, maybe put one spray on my arm and then go about my day. Stay tuned, people, to find out about these fragrances. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Clone, and if you're tuned in as always, people, thank you for doing so. So all my subscribers, thank you very much for your support. It all means a lot and I appreciate every single one of you. And if you're new here and you're stopping by and you like my content, subscribe to my channel. If you like the video, press like. If you dislike, still press the like. Anyway, I've got it out of the way. Right, I'm going to put 15 fragrances in this list, probably 20 fragrances. I'm going to be talking about 8 newer fragrances in my collection. Some of these are a few years old, some of them are newer releases, but they're all new in my collection, and man, do they smell so good. When I walk past these fragrances, I pick a bottle up, I take the cap off, smell the atomizer, and I stand there and I give it one of these. Man, that smells so goddamn good. And then I'll put 1 or 2 sprays on the back of my hand or my arm, give it a sniff and go about my day. And then an hour or 2 later, or a few hours later, I'm doing it again to another fragrance. And I just love the way these smell. I'm starting off with a fragrance from the house of Fath, and it is Vetiver Gris. People, if you have not tried this fragrance, just get yourself a sample. This is not your regular Vetiver fragrance. This has a gourmand side to this. Not full on gourmand, but this definitely has a gourmand edge. Let me just spray it. And if you like magnetic caps, listen to this. Solid metal cap, beautiful presentation, clean and smart, atomizer's great. That you've got mandarin essence, hazelnut accord, orange bi-grade, you've got geranium essence, galbanum resinoid, neroli essence, iris concrete, java vetiver, haiti vetiver and symphonoid. This opens with this blast of that citric mandarin, and then straight away in comes this nutty accord, and the vetiver is, it's a little bit smoky, a tad earthy, but it's clean. Like, I know sometimes when someone hears earthy and a little bit smoky, they think it might be a little bit pungent. This is none of that. This is fresh, smooth, clean, semi-sweet. Like I say, it's got this gourmand touch to it. The iris is sort of giving this fragrance. It's not lipsticky or anything like that. It's more powdery. So it comes across a little bit powdery in this fragrance. This thing, it makes my mouth water. Every time I smell this, it just makes my mouth water. And I love the way this smells. People, do not overlook this fragrance from the house of Fath. Seriously. Like I say, if you like woody fragrances, vetiver fragrances, but you want something a little different, you cannot go wrong with this fragrance. It's attractive, it's alluring, and the longevity is great. Like, I get 8+ hours out of this fragrance. It's strong, I'd say moderate to strong projection for the first hour and a half, and then it all dials down, obviously, as the hours go by. But I can smell it on my skin the next morning. If I spray it before bed, say if I spray it at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I smell my arm at 7 in the morning, I can still get faint whiffs of this fragrance. It's worth the price and some. So coming in at first place, or these are not even ranked, just coming in first is Vetiver Gris from the house of Jack Fath. People, trust me, you won't be disappointed if you sample this fragrance. Up next is this bad boy, and I've literally only had this for a few days, and it was an automatic love. As soon as I smelled it, I was intrigued by it. It is coming from the house of BDK, and it is Gris Charnel. I know this has been around for a few years, and I'm late to the party and all that stuff, but I'm telling you something now, I never really hype a fragrance. I just tell you if I think a fragrance is good or if I love it, and everyone's taste is different. But I love the way this fragrance smells. It's spicy. It's got this tea accord, which is giving this fragrance this sort of cozy, calming effect. Let me just spray it. I want to be reminded of that opening. I haven't worn this that much. And the atomizers, look at the atomizer, look. Right, you got fig, black tea, cardamom essence. It says iris, bourbon vetiver, Indian sandalwood, tonka bean, absolute. This is not an overly complex fragrance, but man, it smells great. So it's spicy from the cardamom when it first opens up. And like I say, that tea accord gives it this calming sort of cozy nature. The fig is semi-sweet. As the fragrance starts drying down, it sort of turns a little bit smoky and creamy, and that creamy facet is, I think, coming from the sandalwood and the fig, and it makes that creamy facet pop. And you, like I say, I get an ever so slight touch of smoke in this, not heavy, but it's just lingering there in the background. Oh, it does smell good. Plus, I get this green nuance. This fragrance smells great to me. And this is going to get a lot of wear. Every time I've worn this, it's moderate projecting, but it does linger for a good few hours. I would say it is a 6 to 7 hour fragrance on my skin, but it's not like beastly all the way through. It's moderate for the first hour to hour and a half, and then it slowly calms down as the hours go by, and it still trickles off the skin. It just smells great. It has got this cozy, snuggly nature to this fragrance. But this would be great on a date night. If you're going out to a dinner, if you're going for a few drinks or to a gathering, this fragrance will work. But I think it would also work if you're watching a film indoors and you're cozying up to your partner. This will work great. And it's unisex. So I had to throw this in the list, and that is coming from the house of BDK, is Gris Charnel. Fantastic fragrance. I do love a freshie, and I have been reaching for this one more than the others lately. And this is going to be a full bottle cop when this 10ml runs out. It is coming from the house of Aaron Terence Shoes. It is Ozone. Man, this thing is bright, zesty, fresh, cooling. I'll spray it and I'm just going to read you some of the notes. This has a spearmint accord in it, and man, it does this fragrance so much justice. I think I've got a couple of mil left in this. Right, you've got bergamot exclusive to the house of Aaron Terence Shoes, lime, spearmint, lemon, ozone, coconut, mocha accord, ambroxan, ethical ambergris, white musk, driftwood, patchouli. So it opens up, citrus heavy, the lime really jumps out on my skin along with that spearmint. And that spearmint just adds this fresh, bright, cooling effect to the fragrance. The coconut turns the fragrance a little bit tropical. The ambergris and the driftwood sort of give this fragrance this light saltiness, but also this marine vibe. So it's like a tropical marine citrus fresh fragrance, and it smells great. Oh, it really does. If you're looking for a freshie that is going to last, just try Ozone from the house of Aaron Terence Shoes. This is a versatile fragrance. This would not only be good on a beach somewhere, or if you're on holiday and you're lounging around the pool, or you're at the bar having a few drinks and it's a hot day. This would work well in the cooler months. This would be a great pick-me-up fragrance. If you want a happy fragrance and it's dull outside and it's dingy and you think, oh, I've got to go to work, or oh, I've got to run chores, and you want a pick-me-up fragrance, give this fragrance a go. It's a happy fragrance. It smells great. Great longevity on it as well for a freshie. Yeah, I do love this fragrance. This definitely deserves to be in this list, and that is Ozone from the house of Aaron Terence Hughes. If you didn't think that citrus, green apple and oud would go together, then you need to try this fragrance of Brioni. It is Brioni de Parfum Intense. When I smelt this, I thought, damn, that smells great. The quality of this fragrance. I picked this up from Perfume Essence, and I might have paid £80 for it for 100 ml. This is worth that money and some. This pushes when you first spray this on. I'm going to get carried away. Right, you got a magnetic cap. It's just the bottle. It's just a plain black bottle. And let me just show you the atomizer quickly. Nice atomizer, gives out a nice bit of juice. Right, you got Italian citrus oil, bergamot, pink peppercorn, patchouli, saffron, green apple, and then oud, ambroxan and vanilla. So it opens with this citric blast, and then boom, in comes a little bit of spice, then in comes this piercing green apple called, not screechy, it's just a bit sharp and zesty, and then in comes the oud. And like I say, you wouldn't think it would work, but it works. It's perfectly balanced, it's perfectly blended, it's smooth. So it opens fresh, bright, zesty, sharp, and then the oud, so it's very woody. But the oud in here is not skanky, barnyardy, fecal, off-putting, smelling like cow shit or anything like that. It isn't. It's smooth, a little bit dark, a little bit dense. It adds a bit of character to the fragrance. It adds depth. It adds a little bit of thickness. It just works great. As the fragrance dries down, or in the dry down, obviously the citruses slowly fizzle out. The green apple lasts quite a while, but when you get to the late dry down, it just turns a little bit more woodier, smooth, spicy, and it's still got like a touch of freshness there. Even though the top notes have dissipated, it's still got a little bit of freshness in the late dry down. Oh, this thing smells great. The only time I wouldn't reach for this is in hotter days because of that oud. But in cooler days and in winter, this fragrance is gonna be a gem. I'm telling you, this will work great if you want to go out. If you're dressed up, you're looking smart, you're going to a gathering, wedding, party, dinner, date night, and you want something that smells nice, smooth, and a little bit bright up top. Brioni de Parfum Intense. Great smelling fragrance. I'm so glad that I got my nose on this fragrance. It was a blind buy, and what a success it was. Great, great fragrance. I could have filled this list with all iris or orris based fragrances because I'm still loving that note. That is my favourite accord, along with sandalwood, vetiver. I love a creamy sandalwood fragrance. But I've chosen an iris fragrance. It is a new release, new in my collection, and I've probably used 15 to 20 ml of this bottle already. And it is CH Passion from Carolina Herrera. This, my friends, is a great smelling iris incense fragrance. My only jib at this fragrance is the performance. It could be better. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that it lasts 8 hours when on my skin. It doesn't. There's the bottle. Let me just spray it. Right, you got pink pepper, neroli from Tunisia, incense, vanilla, iris, tonka bean, amberwood, cedarwood, and woodsy notes. That pink pepper, you get a blast to that when this first, on that initial blast, you get that pepper and it is heavy. And then you've got this freshness that's there. And the neroli in this fragrance isn't like a normal floral soapy neroli accord. This just adds this kind of citric freshness to the fragrance, mixed in with that pepper and that incense, because it's pepper, freshness, then incense, then iris to my nose. And the iris in this fragrance doesn't go completely powdery, and it isn't really lipsticky. It's sort of in the middle, tickling both sides. So it's not overpowering. Once this fragrance starts drying down, it turns like quite heavy on the woods, and the incense sort of goes a little bit more richer and deeper on my skin. And the iris is sort of just lingering through the other notes, sort of just gliding through. And it does smell, it is a great smelling fragrance. Got a little bit of a classy side to it, I think, but also I think it could be a little bit playful, but this would go great on a date night, and or if you're a little bit dressed up. But I'll wear this around the house in t-shirt and shorts, so wear what you want when you want. It does smell great. Like I'm saying, my only problem with it is that it just doesn't last that long. Like I don't know, it's about an hour to hour and a half of moderate projection, and then it just starts raining in quite quick. And about the 4 hour mark, 3.5 to 4 hour mark, it's a skin scent, and it stays like that for another couple of hours and it dissipates. So it's just below moderate, sort of across the board. If this had a bit of a stronger projection and the longevity was outstanding, I would give this fragrance a 9 out of 10. Scent alone, it's a solid 8.5, solid 8.5. But I just love the way it smells. It's great. People, if you haven't tried this, sample it, because I think if you're not a lover of iris, I still think that you could get along with this fragrance because of the incense. Oh, the vanilla and the tonka do add this sort of additional sweetness, and you get a little bit of warmth from the fragrance. Great smelling fragrance, and it deserves to be on this list. And that is CH Passion from Carolina Herrera. I had to put this one in the list. When I first picked this up, I thought to myself, puffed rice as a note or an accord in a fragrance. You wonder how it's going to turn out. And in this fragrance, it just works. It is Jinson Qua from the house of Teo Cabanel. Chef's kiss to this one. I'm telling you, I love this fragrance. You've got puffed rice, mate, violet leaf, matcha tea, gaiac wood, Haitian vetiver, sandalwood, Tulu balm. Man, see the colour of the juice? This has a nice dose of like a green nuance in it. That puffed rice, this opens powdery and starchy. Like, I would say a little bit thick. But then in comes this green nuance. You get this herbal tone. The violet leaf is adding some freshness, sort of giving, I get an ever so slight soapy vibe. Like once the opening calms down, I get a little bit of a soapy vibe to this fragrance. Not heavy by any means, but there is a little bit of a soapiness to this fragrance. And then like that herbal undertone, it's green. The fragrance turns a little bit creamy from the sandalwood. Don't really get much vetiver. All I would say is that I get a woodsy sort of nuance from the fragrance. I wouldn't be able to pick out that it was vetiver. If I blind smelt this, I wouldn't know if vetiver was in it, to be honest with you. The sandalwood, you can pick that up. It's just a great smelling fragrance. This is relaxing. If you've had a hard week at work and you want a chilled weekend, or even you've had a hard day at work and you're chilling of an evening, this would be great for that setting. Yeah, you can wear it out, you can wear it wherever you want. But it's just got this relaxing vibe to it because of that green herbal nuance that's going on, and the matcha tea smells fantastic. It's quite a linear fragrance, don't get me wrong, but it just works. It gets the job done, and I think it smells great. And that is Jinson Qua from the house of Teo Cabanel. I had to put this on the list. I had to, because I love it so much. It is up in my, like, if I had to pick 10 fragrances, I know for a fact that I would definitely keep this fragrance. It is coming from the house of Maison Crivelli, and it is Iris Malikhan. What a superb, stunning fragrance this is. I've only got the 30ml bottle, and at the time I didn't really have the dough to get the 100ml, so I picked up the 30ml, and I'm literally using this a spray at a time. I just love the way it smells. I think I'll spray this more than any other fragrance, but I only do one spray of it because, like I say, I don't want to rinse the bottle. Right, let me just read you some of the notes. I will spray it, but it's going on hand. I'm not wasting this on test strip. Right, you've got cypress essential oil, linguistic essential oil, galbanum, orris butter, mimosa absolute, vanilla, leather accord, amber and musk. Oh, this just opens with this green, leather, orris, like everything sort of comes out at once. The orris is so buttery and creamy in this fragrance. Plus it does have a little bit of a powdery touch. The leather, it's not like a thick, heavy leather. It's more of a smooth, I wouldn't say suede leather. Well, yeah, maybe like a smooth suede leather. And the galbanum, it just, this thing is magic. It really is. I just love this fragrance. People, if you've tried this fragrance and you enjoy iris, you enjoy leather, you enjoy galbanum, because galbanum gives a fragrance this, not sharp, but it sort of comes across as bright green, and you can definitely pick out galbanum when it's in a fragrance. As soon as you know what galbanum smells like, you can pick it out in fragrances because it normally stands out. And the way it's blended, and plus with the vanilla, the amber, this has got a little bit of a balsamic touch to it. It does have a little bit of a musky side, but as it dries, or as it's dried down, like weighing the dry down, it's got like a little bit of a hazy musk vibe to it. Not heavy, but it is there, if that makes sense. Stunning fragrance. At some point I will get 100ml, and that will then be, I reckon, my signature scent, because people, this is worth a sample. It's just, I love this fragrance. Anyway, that is Iris Malikhan from the house of Maison Crivelli. Fantastic stuff. I love it. We're at the end now, so if you stayed with me this whole time, I appreciate you. I've tried to be as quick as I can. And lastly is Mont Blanc Explorer Platinum. This is a simple fragrance, but for some reason, the longer I've had it, the more I want to smell it. It has grown on me so much. Do you know what? This is going to be my scent of the day. It really is. I think this fragrance is great. You've got violet leaf, clary, sage and cedar. It's aromatic, it's clean, it's fresh. It's got sort of this slightly herbal tone to it. As it dries down, it goes ever so slightly, just creamy a little bit. It's just woodsy, aromatic, clean and fresh, and it is mass appealing, easy to wear, and just for some reason it has grown on me more and more and more, and I've catched myself smelling it. Like every day I'll pick this up and I'll go smell it, and I'll put it back down again, and sometimes I'll put a little spray on the hand and then go about my business. So that is why it is on this list, because for what it is, I think it's a great fragrance. Right people, that is 8 fragrances that I love at the minute. I can't stop sniffing them. I think they all smell great. I just love them. I really do. I mean, I love my fragrances in general. It really is a passion of mine, fragrances. I just love everything about them. But these 8, at the minute, I'm smelling them the most, and hence why I've done this list. Right, people, let me know which ones you've tried out of my list. Let me know which ones you enjoy. Remember, people, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for the support, and I will see you lot on the next one. Cheers.